Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. This is episode 39. Last time we went to Empress du Lion and we went to go complete Cullen's smuggling related questline. We went to go check in what was going on with the Red Lyrium, and turns out they were enhancing Samson's armor, and we need to go and continue that questline. There's still more to do for him. We have been asked to speak with Dagna about Samson's armor, so we'll be continuing this questline while we're still on it, and then we've got a few other companion quests to check out as well, which all seem rather interesting. A posthumous letter for the left hand of the divine, especially so. A disappearing companion? We have questions, and we will hopefully get some answers. Now, let us check in at the war table, as usual, to see who has completed their objectives. It is very messy down here. House Amlaterus. The reaction from House Amlaterus was so quick and vehement, it can only mean they've known about this scandal in their family tree for some time. Centuries, perhaps. Their first responses were threats, but after being assured of our serious intent, they quickly changed their tune. Several retainers arrived with a letter for you. The retainer's letter. My dear Inquisitor, naturally these accusations of a connection to those old legends are without merit, and even if that weren't the case, it would have little meaning in my family today. We are Tevinter citizens of good standing, uninterested in whatever this Corypheus has to offer, and will support the Inquisition in its efforts to fight this creature however we may. Magister Irian of House Amladerus. So I guess this is a confirmation of Corypheus's ancestral line, right? Because, seems that they've known about it. They're aware. They're like, man, they did the whole DNA test and they went on that TV show, and he was like, you know what? We can trace you all the way back to the old Tevinter Magisters. And they're like, never air this episode. They walked out after that. Confirmation. An offer from the Imperial Army. A fine victory. May our enemies feel its sting. Classic victory right there. Truth or dare, the end game. My dearest Vivian, you cannot imagine the scandal when 6 bags of Tevinter coin were found wrapped in the Blanchard coat of arms and nailed to the chanter's board in Val Royeaux. It will be talked about for months. It is disagreeable to think that a cousin of the Imperial family could be involved with these horrid Venatori. One hardly knows what to think of your new friends. Hang on. One hardly knows what to think. Your new friends produce the best entertainment. Write again soon. It's been too long since we've had tea. Vicomtesse Elodie de Moreau has provided us with an amulet of power, assumedly for Vivian. Wouldn't make sense otherwise, would it? And now we have some other things to do. And I need to actually make sure that I think there are some ones that are available that I've clicked on as well. We don't have the notifications for. Yes. Unmasking those across the sea. And I think Cullen was like, why bother? Yeah. And we were going to go for Liliana.
Inquisitor.
So I remember we read that. We were waiting for Liliana to send. And then alliances from the heart. The conflict among the nobles of the Orlesian capital has come to a head. Oh, right. This was the marriage. I didn't actually decide. I forgot about that. And a Cullen says this is pointless again. Discreet maneuvers in the free march is a standard retinue, +2 get the young couple out of range. And the 2 youths could be marriage enough if other investments encouraged Lord Derosier to withdraw. And then take out Leandra. I haven't decided on that, so I'm going to keep that away. I don't know. Just don't have the brain capacity to be making arranged marriage decisions right now. However, we do have Dagna, mind your mentor over here. I have a request. Favor, really. A lot of people helped me get where I am today, and I've thanked them all except one. My father, Jannar. He didn't really help exactly. Forbid is closer, but family is family. Just like lyrium can only be worked by those who can't dream the fade, I am the person I am today because my father shaped me, and I still owe him for who I am. Trouble is, what I am is castless. I can't ever go back, and everything I've ever sent has been refused, so I was hoping I could put together a package and it could arrive in Orzammar with a little Inquisition flair. Something to wow the gates and maybe get my father to look at it. That would be ever so sweet of you, Arcanist Dagna. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember in Dragon Age Origins, he's like, don't let her go. And we're like, follow your dreams. I suspect that it is less the gates and more the father that is the problem. Perhaps the package should simply appear in his smithy. He cannot deny it then. How interesting. If Dagna wishes her father to know all that she has accomplished, send an entourage to match it. All of Orzammar will know. And a simple notice that we are grateful she is here. If he is proud, that will be enough. If he is not, ceremony will only sour him further. And I will say that I feel that Liliana and Cullen have the right approach here, because we know that he didn't want her to go, and he's probably sore about it. And I think Liliana might be onto something, that maybe it's like, a package for you, sire. And he's like, no. But it also does make sense that it might be getting declined because of the castless nature of Dagna. So it's a little bit all over the place. A little bit all over the place. So we're not sure. But I feel like ceremony will make it worse. Being like, all of Orzammar knows that this man's daughter ran away to become castless. It's different in Orzammar. You know, as a humble dwarf myself, I know that it's different. So I think we're going to go with Cullen.
All right.
Just be like, there you go. You know? Hopefully that's okay. Delicate negotiations. My Lady Inquisitor. Oh, nice. This is one for Josephine anyway. After your recent help with the Venatori, I'm hopeful that the Inquisition can assist with another matter. With peace restored in Orlais, I wish to engage in new talks with Empress Celine. We are not on friendly terms, for reasons I'll not disclose, and while peace between our nations is in everyone's best interest, the situation remains delicate. The Empress owes you, and thus you could facilitate these talks in a way no one else could. I await your response. Queen Honora Theron. Oh! I love the way that this is written, that I'm like, who's this from? Boop! And it's just one more line. That's cool. There is a great deal of bad blood between these nations, but I would do my best to facilitate their talks.
At your service.
See you in 14 hours. And that, my friends, is the war table. Away we go. So we're going to continue this lead that we have, and we are going to speak with Dagna about Samson's armor. And is there something we can do to get rid of that situation? Oh, and we also have an amulet of power. So if we head on over to Vivienne, we can cash that one in. Perfect. I should probably give her a thing, but also at the same time, I don't really intend to use her out in the field until we are chasing dialogue, so we'll see. Oh, let's have a look at this throne that we chose, by the way. God damn. Isn't that one hell of a throne to sit on as the Herald of Andraste? Like, I kind of feel like... Oh, again, it's the same one. I feel like this throne... Oh, long neck syndrome. Who did that? The architect, not the architect, the, what's the name for You know, the stonemason, I don't know what this is made out of. Let's say it's made out of marble, just for the sake of my voice. The stonemason made a bit of an error and assumed Andraste had a neck longer than Dumat's spine itself. That's really unfortunate there. Is that part of the myth? When Andraste was being burnt, her neck grew to double the length so she could utter the words, "Fuck you." Dagna, hello?
Dagna, what have you learned of Samson?
He should be dead. I mean, you could make a hat out of red lyrium and kill people, especially the wearer. Samson's armor, it's genius. To do all this and not go insane, it must be resistant. Or he is insane. Or both.
I think you are onto something. Both is not comforting.
You're not comforting me, Dagna. He's dangerous either way.
Oh, fine. I just need time and tools. People. And red lyrium. For tests, you see?
Is that wise?
Everything is safe if handled properly. And you don't touch it long. Or breathe it. I mentioned the hat, right? No hat. Time and resources, Inquisitor. I'll get what you want. Now shoo, I have work to do.
Okay. Finding Samson's weakness operation available. Damn it, it's an operation. I thought she was just going to end up asking for donations of red lyrium because we have plenty in our pockets. Well, there you go. I'll have to wait for people to be available for that, which means we cannot proceed with this mission because that is the nature of things. The Herald of Andraste sits upon the Andrastian burning throne. God damn, what an image. All right, we're going to leave. In that case, as I have now jinxed myself, we are not doing Before the Dawn. And I think we should go and do whatever came up first. So let's go follow Blackwall. He has left the Inquisition. It appears to have something to do with the impending execution of a man named Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callia massacre. We are attending an execution today. So that's a fun way to start the episode, isn't it? All right, where are we headed? To Valerio. Now there's no, I don't believe there's any party banter that takes place in Valerio, but I also don't know if there'll be any dialogue here at all. So I am still going to thoughtfully piece together my team. And I think, if we're attending an execution, I wish for 2 rogues. I wish for 3 rogues. Damn, okay, actually. Should we take a triple rogue party for the first time? I feel like these 3 would just have something to say and acknowledge about an execution. Cole would be sad. Sarah would be happy. And Varric would have a story to tell. We're going to go with the triple rogues instead of, that'll communicate and show Blackwall what has happened since he left. We're like, we don't have a warrior anymore. We need you. Come back. It's just a mage and 3 rogues. I'm going crazy out here. Oh, it's dreary and depressing too. Wow. They're setting the scene. It is a rainy day in Valerio today. All right. Look how cool everyone is dressed. Everyone is dressed nicely. Having Sarah in Warden gear is hilarious. Oh, here it is. We're gathered here today.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is grim.
Poor bastard. So, where's food?
Orlesians always stock these things.
Cole?
Proceed.
Cole says nothing. Okay. Sarah does acknowledge, poor bastard.
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Oh, shit.
Wait.
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am. You, after all this time. It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
Bruh. No, I was not mentally prepared for this. I came to collect him, sir. What? What? Zoop. Oh. It makes sense, right? Yeah, I was in the Blight in Ferelden. I fought. No, you did not. All right. Okay. I feel surprised, but also right after that, immediately, I don't feel surprised because it was just like cancelled. So I'm like, we've had suspicions. Nothing that he says is lined up, right? When he says things and you're like, huh? Go? And then that's because he don't know. I have questions. He rocks up and he's identified as a Grey Warden. A Grey Warden. What is it about Blackwall's presence? Because he doesn't look like a Grey Warden. What is it about him that makes people say that that's a Grey Warden? Alistair acknowledged him as a Grey Warden just by walking in. Like, what does that mean? How did he do that? How did he fool so many people? I mean, that's very strange. Because I was suspicious of him. Can you guys stop teleporting? I was suspicious of him, but when Alistair acknowledged him and recognized him, I kind of cleared him a little bit of suspicion. Because I was like, okay, interesting. And he gave that fucking rousing Grey Warden speech at Adamant, and he's a phony. That's really crazy. And we had that drink with him before he left, right? And he was talking about how he saw the dog getting strung up. Oh, wow. He saw the dog getting strung up, ready to be hanged, and he did nothing about it. And he went back inside. And he decides once he hears about this execution, when the same thing is happening, something he could do to help a person getting hung up to die, he does something about it. So I really think that's amazing that we have Blackwall be this cowardly character, even way back when he tells us about his past, and he does it again to hide and assume the identity of a warden that has been dead for years in an act of cowardice to hide. And then this is his moment when he's like, no more. And I think that his time with the Inquisition with us changed him in that way. He's had direct contact with actual real Grey Wardens. He's had a chance to be the hero that he wants to be. We have changed him up here that has pushed him to reveal himself, to be honest with himself and with us, even though he gave the order to massacre a family. And again, I sit here and go, all of those little question marks that were appearing above our head as we were sort of grilling him on Grey Warden stuff, and he wasn't giving up the dough, makes sense. Grey Wardens are secretive, but he said things that are contradictive as well, And that was like, But again, there's things that happen in the game that like sort of clear him of suspicion, and I had forgotten about that stuff because it hadn't really come up. And then he disappears. And now he's not Blackwall. Unbelievable. But very believable.
Leave it. Tom Rainier himself.
What?
You must know something about Rainier.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble and his family.
Where did they take the prisoner?
In the jail of the marketplace. If you've goodbyes to say them now. It's a damned mess, but believe you me, it'll be sorted out quick. Lots of people can't wait to see that man swing.
That's crazy.
Guess not.
Alright, well, hopefully he's been relieved of all his effects and I can put all of that back in my inventory. Are we gonna have the death of a party member? In such like... in such a significant way, too.
A shock, I agree.
A shock.
So, Cole had nothing to say,
How could you not see as much?
but Sarah and Varric just kind of said some things.
There is no doubt. Captain Tom Rainier.
He wore the shield.
That is concerning, yes.
Concerning. He's a butcher.
What, who am I talking to here? Oh. Huh. Oh, that's so cool!
Why not?
Singing it in Orlesian French, whatever. Maybe the exclamation mark is above.
And when it all cleared, she was still in charge.
That's so cool.
You would not believe the number of alliances shattered and broken that night.
Sounds like a wash.
Singing the bardic songs in Orlesian.
Decided to go a different way.
That's cool. See, we mostly hear Orlesian accents, but we don't hear... yeah, we mostly hear the accents. But what you don't hear is the actual Orlesian. Now, the question mark is actually on the floor. The question mark is here. And it is Meriden. So, it's not upstairs. I think I might... Do we wait for the song to be over and go, hey, what are you doing here?
Same old.
Oh, there we go.
Far come we, the able true, to Skyhold now, a fortress strong and free. We rally with our hero born anew. Inquisitor, there's none as brave as she.
I can't believe this.
La-di-da, and something else. Inquisitor, a title hard to rhyme. A challenge for another day, I think. Forgive me my distractions, Eminence. I'm overwhelmed by you and what you've done. My name is Meriden, a humble bard.
A humble bard. Goodbye.
Are you a bard like those of Orlais?
Oh, heavens no. I'm a minstrel first. My weapon is a cutting tongue, not blades. I hope my skills will help in some small way, if only I can give your deeds their due.
How can you help?
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
A simple thing that you know well. The power of a muse to rally hearts and minds. Inquisitor, I want to spread the word of what you've done. A small but vital role. Perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Okay.
Carry on, then.
Oh, I will do my best, Inquisitor.
Sure. It's still there, but I can't talk about anything.
There is an issue that you should address.
Oh.
I think it's worth your time, Inquisitor.
Okay, there is a operation available. Cole has found a very interesting wall. There we go. Okay. The Val Royeaux prison. The prison of Val Royeaux. Tom Rainier, huh? What a naughty guy. Well, this is going to be interesting. I have saved beforehand, just in case, because I don't know what's going to happen. Are we able to... Is it right for us to, like, take him? You know? Is it right for us to be like, hello? Or bringing him with us? Huh. Okay. An amulet of power for Blackwall. That's unfortunate, because okay. Well, there you go. He's coming back into our party.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
I can see his mentality. I can see his point. So he was being considered for the Wardens anyway, but he's not, which means anything that when we were talking about the calling and he never fucking addressed it is so funny because he's like, yeah, it has no effect on me. All that stuff about calling because he hasn't had the juice. He didn't have the Darkspawn margarita. God damn it. That amulet of power should have been available to you after everything happens, because now I know that he's coming back in the party because I will be able to give it to him. Unfortunately, I was like, is he gonna die? So that takes a bit of the weight off, unfortunately. That was a unfortunate placement of the power. It should have been like a quest reward upon like finishing this, so then it doesn't go, oh okay, he's coming back into the party. I'm conflicted on this because he has gotten innocents killed, and then and I guess that was something that happened in the past, and then he was being considered for Grey Wardenship with the real Blackwall, and then he wanted to continue on in his legacy. This is like a total... I can't say it because I don't... It's a Final Fantasy VII spoiler, but if you know, you know. It has a very similar sort of thing to those two characters, you know. You will be my living legacy, which is quite interesting, except obviously he was knowingly hiding it the whole time. I am conflicted. Yeah, just dying make up for it. But he doesn't want to watch another man die in his place. This is spectacularly well written. And I really like that. And it's cool that you can see his backstory, his cowardice, and the lessons that he's learned. And how much this execution has sort of drawn all that to the forefront. Of he's like... Blackwall wouldn't have let another die in his place, and he's like, I have to own up to my past now. Are we talking about what he's just done being brave, or taking on the name of Blackwall being brave? I'm not really sure on that one.
Was the bailiff telling the truth? Did you really do those things?
Yes, I did. It's all true. It's time we all took a good look at who I really am. Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
I don't think that he has been pretending to be a good person this whole time. He's clearly changed. in the years of being Blackwall. You know? I think that much is clear.
I know you're more than what you say. Have some faith in yourself.
Discuss the situation with Cullen. Okay. I was wondering if we were going to sort of use Inquisition, you know, influence to be like, we will take care of him instead, you know?
Yes.
Yes. Ah, yes, let's talk.
I need to know the details of what you did. Who you killed, why.
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered, and I took it. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned it. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
Damn. So, mercenary for hire to perform some Orlesian assassinations, which is what was essentially the whole point of the Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts thing that was going on, where we were following all these assassination threads and Gaspard hiring mercenaries and stuff.
My reports say that Callier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered.
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men had been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. They thought they were defending their country. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in this world. Bloodlines. Heirs. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
But you weren't at war. Not really.
I've been on enough battlefields to know the same crime at the right time would have earned a medal. But that's what I did. And why I deserve to be here.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question. Just as your men trust you.
Our men follow me because they believe our cause is righteous.
They believe it because that's what you tell them.
Okay, bro.
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes?
Yes.
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Valchavan for the joining. But Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. I was to go down alone, find a darkspawn, and fill a vial with its blood. When I returned, I found the warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
Damn. So he was, yeah, that's what we had to do in Dragon Age Origins. We had to go find some Darkspawn, get some Darkspawn blood, do the joining, see if we would survive. So he was close. He was like a couple of steps away from drinking from the sippy cup, but he hasn't done it. I wonder if he would have survived. I wonder if he would have survived the joining. I like to think that he would have. I like to think that he would have survived the joining. And he makes for an adequate Grey Warden based on how they recruit. He would have fit right in. And then he would have been above what's going on right now, because it's like he's now a Grey Warden.
Not saying I disagree, but Blackwall clearly thought you were worth saving.
No one should have died for me. He would have wanted me to carry on to Valchavan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I've been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the Wardens. But I couldn't just walk away. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
I totally get that, but also I think that if he went to the Wardens with that in mind, I reckon he would be able to have convinced him and delivered the sort of thing. And he's like, hey man, he said that I could join. And they'd be like, fuck man, we need the people, get in here. Crazy. So it was more convincing to just live a complete lie. I wonder what it is about him, assuming the identity of Blackwall, that has allowed him to be, like, they must look super similar, right? Or Blackwall used to be, like, clean-shaven or something, and he's grown out his beard and hair to, like, resemble the real Blackwall, maybe? I don't know. But to be able to assume Grey Warden's identity for years is that is no small feat right there. He's like, yeah, I was in Freljord during the Blight. Just ask anyone. They'll tell you I was not there.
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded, respected. But it wasn't enough. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
So he's in the Orlesian army. Without the accent.
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who was he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
That's all for now.
Yes?
Damn, that's all we can talk about.
That's all for now.
Okay. Rough. And he's staying here. And we have to go and we have to return to Skyhold to decide what we're going to do. Oh,
I have Liliana's report on Tom Rainier.
Never mind. TLDR. Just TLDR. She had this report all along? Did Liliana know? Was Liliana aware and didn't say anything? Also, Cullen got here fast.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celine's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
Okay.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to Wardens. What do we do now?
Okay.
Blackwall... Rainier did his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
Ah, there you go. Oh no, we gotta sit in the chair? We gotta sit in the chair and do the judgment? Oh no. Put him in the... What's it called? What is it fucking called again? Put him in the cage thing. I've already forgotten the name of it. What was it? It's a silly name. It's a silly name. So Liliana didn't know. She had the report, but couldn't connect the dots.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
Christ.
He wanted to change, to prove that he'd really left his past behind. He had to face up to it.
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
Okay.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
Optional. Order the advisors. Okay. Order the advisors to find a way to release Rainier from prison is optional. Okay. Well, fuck, guys. I need an operation to be available to me. Alright, characters. Blackwall. Let's have a look. Oh, this is completely... Hang on. Damn! Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. Was there a previous... Oh, it's been overwritten completely. So everything that was on Blackwall is gone. And it's been replaced with the Rainier stuff. It's really interesting to see this Blackwall imagery of, you know, Grey Warden on the Griffin, like the most heroic sort of presentation you could ever see of a Grey Warden. Full armor, beautiful armor, Griffin, Darkspawn. Like that is the legends of the Grey Wardens right there. And his character art at the moment, when we look in our party selection screen, is sad little Grey Warden with a helmet on a horse. The truth. I really wonder what his artwork is going to update to. Constable of the Grey, Silverite Wings of Valor. Hardly relevant now. They are Warden Blackwall's achievements, and the man we thought to be him was someone else entirely. It explains why I had scant information on Blackwall. He must have been lying low for years. I compiled everything I had on Thomas Rainier, dead on. Liliana. What follows is a history of Thomas Rainier prepared for delivery by Sister Liliana. Rainier was born in Markham, a city-state in the Free Marches. Oh, okay, so hence the lack of Orlesian accent. He's in the Orlesian army, but obviously, you know, not an Orlesian. There is little information on his early life, but he was already a skilled warrior by the time he turned 18. Hoping to make his fortune, he joined the Grand Tourney, that great marcher contest of arms. He won the melee, proving himself and earning a substantial sum of gold. Whatever happened to the coin Rainier won in the tourney is a mystery. 2 years later, he appeared in Orlais no richer than at 18. Okay. Still, he leveraged his abilities and lingering fame to gain a place in the Orlesian army. Rainier excelled as a soldier, rising through the ranks quickly to become a captain with a number of men under him. Rainier's men were fiercely loyal. Our sources believe that many would have gladly defied a higher commander his word. On the surface, Rainier safeguarded his men's interests, but further investigation reveals that he was primarily concerned with his own advancement and profit. Rainier's desire to amass a fortune likely explains his involvement in the massacre of Lord Vincent Callier and his family. Our sources tell us that Rainier was approached by a chevalier. Having Callier and Chevalier right next to each other is so funny. Callier and Chevalier, Sir Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert supported Grand Duke Gaspard's claim to the throne and wished to enter in his good graces by eliminating Lord Callier, one of Celine's staunchest allies. Chapuis hired Rainier to assassinate Callier and offered him a great deal of coin for it. We have no reason to believe his actions were politically motivated. In the spring of 935, Lord Callier and his family were travelling to their summer home on Lake Celestine when their caravan was ambushed. It is unknown if Rainier realised that Callier would be travelling with his family. Rainier and his men slaughtered Lord Callier and his entourage. They spared not even the children, all 4 under the age of 13. It seems that none of Rainier's men were aware of the true reasons behind the Lord's killing. They simply followed Rainier's orders. Rumours of Rainier's connection to the murders began swirling through the upper ranks of the army and must have given him forewarning. He was gone when guards came to arrest him. His men, however, were not so lucky. Almost all were charged with treason, save a few who managed to get away. Tom Rainier was labelled a traitor and a criminal, but remained at large until now. There you go. I kind of wish that Blackwall's codex entry was potentially untouched, and maybe just a Tom Rainier one was added. But there you go. That is the report. I'm not sure if they will add anything else for us to say to him before we leave.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all for now.
All right. If I have to order the advisors to find a way to release him from prison, I think that's an operation. So we might have to wait. So that's okay. That's fine. Waiting. We can look into another one of our 2 quest lines while we wait. Alright, our other companions do not come with us. I'd like to get other people's opinions on the matter. Let's go, actually, I wonder, let's go back to Skyhold, and I am curious to see if our companions have anything to say about a fellow squad mate, a fellow that has fought with us for assumedly many, many months at this point. Cullen got to Skyhold real quick, by the way. Sorry, to Valroyo. Speedy.
What can I do for you, your inquisitorialness?
Varric's the one that has, like, the least amount of updates, unfortunately. Like, I get it. He was, like, he's, like, had the spotlight on him in Dragon Age 2.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also...
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
I'll cut you off there.
Venon.
Hey. You like me.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais.
Alright, we already did this.
Demonstrate that no one in the...
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shiral.
We'll talk later, bud. I don't know if anyone would have anything to say. But I feel like they should. Oh, actually. I wonder if Josephine has anything to say, because it was Orlesian nobles and stuff. Like, and it was all to do with Duke Gaspard and everything. I wonder if Josephine has anything.
Yes?
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Marquise Hedinel is here, but Her Grace sent her apologies for missing dinner. Allergies, I'm afraid.
Allergies to what?
Wheat, eggs, honey, meat, most fish, some poultry, and even peppers, winter fruits, and every nut under the sun.
What does the Marquise subsist on?
Spite, according to her siblings, as the Marquise had the fortune to be firstborn of her family. Try to avoid invitations to any of their luncheons. It's good to see you.
Okay, we've got some more stuff here, which has probably come about after doing her personal quest stuff. We haven't touched on that yet, so that's good to know. Sure.
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Valroyo. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
Did they have to pry your fingers off the doorframe as well?
Admittedly, I may have been a trifle sheltered, but my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Valroyo?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Valrio when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Valroyo to me. So beautifully foreign. I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Valrio?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Seheran, the Anderfels, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
Oh yeah, Josephine, let's go to Seheron together. Let's just go to Parvolan. Why not? I wonder if Josephine knows about... I wonder if Josephine could hang out with Zevran. I wonder if they'd get along, you know? Maybe they'd get along. Oh, I just got like really confused. I went investigate, and then I clicked an option, and then it just went investigate, but it just went into another one.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
Okay.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
If you must deal with legislation, at least it's lively.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance, a certain exuberance of style.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lady. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfront's never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade, no matter what the weather.
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My younger sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
I love hearing, I think out of any character in the game, I love hearing Josephine talk the most. It's just something about that Antivan accent. It's silky. It's nice. I require bedtime stories from Josephine. So good. Even like Zevran's is great to listen to. The Antivan accent is real nice, but hearing it from Josephine specifically, it's just very nice. Very nice voice.
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Leliana.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Olay. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Leliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
Huh.
I assume the entire problem was some form of trial.
You assume correctly. Leliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Ooh, this is an interesting question now. Are you just co-workers, or are you friends?
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royeaux. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Leliana used to be a bard, and she would bard well. She also used to be very, very religious after her life with Marjolaine. And then she was like, oops, here I go killing again.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
What do these Antivan heads of the households do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
I imagine there must be give and take between a family heir and their parents.
There is a fair amount of arbitration. Bickering, if one is less polite. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Okay.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
Okay.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
That's quite nice. And we got the codex unlocked for Antiva. So a nice little history there. So Leliana was like, I need a friend to be in the Inquisition. In the rest of the civilized world, it is common belief that Antiva has no king. I assure you, gentle readers, that this is untrue. The line of kings in Antiva has remained unbroken for 2,500 years. It is simply that nobody pays any attention to them whatsoever. In truth, the nation is ruled by a collection of merchant princes. They are not princes in the literal sense, but heads of banks, trading companies, and vineyards. Their power is conferred strictly by wealth, but Antiva is not primarily renowned for its peculiar form of government, nor for its admittedly unparalleled wines. Antiva is known for the House of Crows. Since Antivans are well known for being good at everything but fighting, it is more than a little ironic that Antiva possesses the most deadly assassins in the world. Their fame is such that Antiva keeps no standing army, no king is willing to order his troops to assault her borders. No general is mad enough to lead such an invasion. The attack would likely succeed, but its leaders would not see the day. Isn't royalty funny? A line of kings in Antiva are 2,500 years. Isn't it crazy that we live in a world where there is still a monarchy? And that goes way back to when people fought each other with swords. Like, When I think about the history of like England, I'm like, what the fuck? It's just like, hello? That's not a video game? That's not just Game of Thrones? It's like an actual reality? Huh? Interesting. I don't believe we have anyone available for an operation right now, but I'm just going to quickly check. And then we're going to talk to Josephine, because I think something that I've remembered you can do is obviously you can talk to your characters and go, hey, what are your opinions on people? So I'll ask, you know. 45 minutes left, and I think the rest were hours and hours long. So, yeah, no one's ready. As you were, team. As you were. I will have to wait until next time. That's okay. So, the Inner Circle. Order the advisor to find a way to release Arania from prison. So that'll become an operation for us to tackle. How good is that so far, everyone? I'm like, all right, guys, we're doing companion quests. And so far, 2 of them have reached advisor operation roadblocks because of how I start my episodes of sending them on missions.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
He's removed from the list. Ay, ay, ay. They removed him. So you can't even ask. You can't even ask. It's unfortunate.
The Iron Bull has had to have made an impression.
He is a loud, unapologetic accident merely waiting to happen. I do wish he'd stop daring poor dignitaries to outdrink him.
Let's speak later.
Another time.
I suppose that is confirmation enough that if asking about Blackwall has been removed from one person's dialogue options, it's probably been taken away from everyone's. So that leads us to another companion quest. What a train wreck. Please open. We are going to go and do the left hand of the Divine instead. So a letter written by Divine Justinian posthumously delivered to Liliana has directed Liliana to visit Valence. Now, hopefully, this quest will not end up with an operation to accomplish, but we will see. So to the Valence Cloister is where we're headed now. Okay, who do we want to take with us to this location? I hadn't really thought about this. I think Cassandra would be very interesting considering right and left hands of the Divine. I'm also going to bring Varric for good measure because it's like a little Dragon Age 2 reunion, having Varric, Cassandra, and then Liliana at the end of Dragon Age 2 appearing. And I guess we should go for a mage, of which I actually think that we will bring Vivienne, because I don't know, if it's about like divine stuff and that sort of era of things, you know, the Circle Mage Enchanter would probably have some things to say. So I think that'll be what we do. We'll do Cassandra, Varric, and Vivienne. There you go.
It's just as I remember it. You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it to be so deserted. It makes me uneasy.
It's a small village and it's too early for the chant. I'm sure the sisters are somewhere.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
What's going on? Liliana, we haven't practiced our signals. I don't know what that means. We've not been out in the field together. I like that shit. Imagine like Liliana's doing a hug and she starts going. And I was like, no, we haven't practiced the hand signals. What does this mean? Why are you shaking your head? Are you saying that you're not friends at all? You're like, it's just like, so nice to see you. What the fuck?
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
We've got...
Still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear.
Okay.
I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it?
Okay, I think I'm picking up what's going on here. So, first and foremost, I do love the bamboozling of me deciding who to bring along on our adventure, only for them to be locked outside, going, wow, the Inquisitor brought us all this way just to put us outside. Why bother with that party selection screen when we're not having the party with us? It's silly, because I get my hopes up for character interactions that just don't happen. So I'm like, here's my thought process, and here it is going out the window. So we're with Liliana. Varric, Cassandra, and Vivian are outside in the cold. And interestingly enough, I think Liliana is quizzing Natalie here on something. Hey, do they still do this? I'm like, yeah, of course they do. It's like, they never do that, is what I'm probably expecting. That's like the tone of her voice. Hey, how about that breach? Real pretty, huh? Yeah, real beautiful. Yeah, real beautiful. We sealed that breach. It feels that there's some dialogue that's testing if this Natalie person is indeed Natalie. Have we got a demon masquerading as a sister right now? Is that what's going on? Or a Venatori agent disguised as Natalie? One of those things. Let's solve some clues without our party and just Liliana and
be careful,
Natalie.
Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
Yeah, guys, be careful. I've got a lot of pings, which I'm assuming is all tied to our clues. Wow, take a look at these. So there's some similar stained glass windows. Look at these pictures too. This is cool. Some of them are empty. We've seen this one before. Got some Andraste. Don't know who that is. Someone's doing some reading on the ground here. I think with the clues, it's like you gotta be like right on top of it. Oh, a hidden mechanism. We solved a clue.
Heart. Well, that one's quite literal. And morbid. But Justinia always said that compassion was my greatest strength. Doubt is easy. It takes courage to trust.
It's kind of interesting that they're like, here's these clues, but then it's like you can just kind of follow the pings and then solve it. Love the stained glass windows. Yeah, there's a few of these images that we've seen before.
Justinia saved me, but not in the way you'd think. She wouldn't let me give up. She saved me by forcing me to save myself. There's always light where there's hope.
True. Just taking a look around before we do what we need to do. Well, there's a hidden mechanism here. Actually, no, it's not. There looks like there's one underneath every picture, actually. Oh, that's an interesting one. Like a white rose with a bunch of thorns, faith sprung from a barren branch.
What was that? Looks like we opened something.
A hidden chamber. The Chamber of Secrets. Oh, is it around the back? Oh, it's this? Oh, cool, it's the... Ah, that's so cool. Ooh! Look at that, you get to see more of the image. Holy shit, is that the urn? Sacred Ashes? This is where it went? Whoa, hello.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
The fuck? Wait. What the fuck? Is that the Urn of Sacred Ashes or not? Because it went missing, right? What is going on here? I need to know what's going on.
Leliana, stop! What are you doing?
I'm protecting us. They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Oh. Okay. I went straight to demonic possession. Venatori fucking assassin. It's literally just Natalie, but sent by someone. Can I get some updates here? Can I get some information?
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true Chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
That's interesting.
If we let her go, she'll just run off to her cleric, won't she?
Likely.
Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
Ooh. Kill her or let her go? I was wondering if the option of, like, we can't just let her go, instead of join us, might have been taking her back to Skyhold or taking her back to, like, with us. Maybe for, like, judgment or something. I don't know, but again, Liliana's like, here I go killing again. I don't think she needs to die for this. She was just poking around in the chantry. She also doesn't seem to be armed. Liliana's the one with the murderous intent right now. She's kind of just sent here to have a little investigate. I don't think she should be killed for that.
Release her, Liliana. She is no threat.
The Grand Cleric.
She is one woman. We are the Inquisition.
The Inquisitor has spoken. Run. Tell your mistress that she has a choice. The Inquisition is coming. No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
Ooh, okay. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to my mind was the Ashes of Andraste. It doesn't look, it's not the same container, like it doesn't look the same, but it's just like, that was just my first thought. I just went, oh, wait, could it be the Ashes of Andraste? Because I remember them, obviously the ashes were tied very heavily to Liliana, depending on what you did with them in Origins. Like if you tainted the ashes, she would leave your party and attack you. And she could die there as a result. So I was like, maybe that's why I was thinking about the ashes, because of her there and how they were taken away. Damn.
Check again. Perhaps the box itself is a puzzle. She seemed the puzzling sort.
No, it's just an empty box. There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
Wow. And that's why she thinks that she failed her, because of all the things that Liliana did in her time of being the left hand. Did Justinia reach out with her left hand at the very beginning of Inquisition? I know that's obviously just like a metaphor with the fact that the left hand of the divine, you know. But I wonder if when we were climbing up those stairs... Let's have a look. Let's have a look, actually. Let's go to my episode 1 of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'll pull that up real quick. Just real quick. You know, out of curiosity. Out of curiosity, I'm going to pull up episode 1 of my Dragon Age. And when we ran up the ladder, what hand was she reaching out with? Oh, she was reaching out with her right hand. Never mind. That would have been a really neat detail. That's the first thing that I thought of was, remember when we were running up the stairs and obviously Divine Justinia was like reaching out at us. If it was her left hand, that would have been very poetic, I think. But it was not. She reached out with her strong hand.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
If it were not for you, I would have killed Natalie and called it a good thing. Thank you for showing me what was right when I couldn't see it for myself. There are things that must be said, but not here. I will see you back at Skyhold.
I like that. That's nice, because she's like, yeah, I would have called it a good thing if I would have killed her. And I'm like, that's been like her attitude for like the whole game. The whole game. Ever since like the beginning of speaking with her, she's like, kill this person. It's cool that it's detailed on the other side as well. That's really cool. What a beautiful location though. Shame there's no like codex entries or anything to pick up in here. It is it's an empty chantry. Alright, now we can go back. Not there. Now we can go back to Skyhold. We'll check on Liliana. See what's going on with her. See how she feels about this. So, not the Ashes of Andraste. An empty box being like, you are fired because I feel bad.
Cleric Victoire has offered the ambassador support for the Inquisition.
Ah, Natalie is as persuasive as ever.
Damn. Offered support for the Inquisition after that one. That's pretty funny. There you go. Because we spared a life.
I'm told that Ambassador Montillier is pleased with the restraint you showed in Valence.
She's positively beside herself. I will never hear the end of it.
Niceness before knives, Liliana. Haven't I always told you?
Will that be all, my lady?
For now.
I love making new friends, don't you?
It was a gamble, Inquisitor, but it paid off. If you hadn't been with me at Valence, I would have killed Natalie. I'd have told you that I didn't have a choice. But there is always a choice. I am more than this. I am more than what Justinia made me.
Yeah, I love that. This is what I needed out of Liliana, I think. Because she's been a little bit interesting in this game. It's been very jarring from Dragon Age Origins. Like, we know her character's past, and it's been a bit all over the place. She does a lot of things, but she's definitely been in a much more serious position. I love that as I'm talking, I'm just seeing birds just flying into our faces this whole time. You quitting?
What does this mean for my Inquisition? Will you still be my spy master?
Of course. I would not give up my post. Not after everything we've built. I just know now that I shouldn't ignore my heart. Mercy is not always a weakness.
Do you resent Justinia for what she did?
How can I when there is so much between us? When she gave her life for peace? No, I believe her intentions were pure. Most intentions are.
You've exceeded her. She could never have imagined the power you now hold.
And now I will know how to use that power wisely. I have to stay true to who I really am, before a spy master, left hand or bard. I almost lost myself.
Nice. That was a great little mission there. I really liked that.
I'm listening.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Okay.
I'll leave you to your work.
Good show. That was yeah, very enjoyable. I appreciated that a lot.
Here is the request Harriet made.
Okay, so I have decided to let time pass naturally, and I've taken a break so that the War Council is free of their tasks, so we can send them on necessary objectives. So let's go back into the War Council. Instead of waiting until next episode, I was like, we'll just wait now, and then we'll come back and we will proceed with the quests that we have available to us. So let's see what everyone has. Unmasking those across the sea. Compliments to your spy master. She is a resourceful woman. Once she traced our agent to Cayman Bria, the match was ruled in her favor. Tell Sister Liliana to call off her dogs. Save them for Corypheus. We suspect also that she has gotten all that she can from Sir Helmuth. A caterpillar on a leaf does not know there is a forest about him. You will hear no more from us. Our intention was to watch, and we have seen enough. Corypheus threatens us all, and the Inquisition is Thetis' only hope for stopping him. Remember that, for the moment, we are not your enemy. As a gesture of goodwill, we share our knowledge. May it prove valuable in your coming battle. On behalf of powers across the sea, the Executors, Master Demon Slaying Rune. Very interesting. Okay. A caterpillar on a leaf does not know there is a forest about him. I love that line. That's so cool. Let's check up on these. Mind your mentor. Dagna's father received our simple declaration. I cannot call the reply warm exactly, but that is not for me to say. Cullen. A note from Dagna follows. Thank you, Inquisitor. While he remains disapproving, my father did wish me well. He sent the family crest, unmounted, so it can't be worn, but it's more than I had, more than many who come to the surface have. Arcanus Dagna. So he remains disapproving, and I think if we would have made a ceremony about it, it probably would have potentially been even worse. But who knows? Delicate negotiations. The talks between Ferelden and Orlais took place in Yedo and went off more or less without incident. Queen Honora is a skilled diplomat after all, and it was clear that the Orlesians were not interested in more war. This is only the first such meeting, but we've paved the way for a peace treaty. Queen Honora sent her thanks, along with a sword that is said to have belonged to the Ferelden hero king Calenhad. According to her, it is a symbol of her appreciation for the Inquisition's efforts. The Avenger. There you go. So we've got stopping the rumors, finding Samson's weakness. We have deal with Lord Basil Maron, signing Michel de Chevin, a golden opportunity, evading the crows, a favor returned, Tom Rainier's fate, which costs 1 power. And is there not another operation that we... Oh, that was the Samson's weakness, wasn't it? Tom Rainier's fate. If you think it worthwhile, we can have Tom Rainier, previously known to us as Blackwall, released from the Valrio prison in which he awaits justice. Keep in mind, Inquisitor, that he is wanted in Orlais for the massacre which claimed the lives of Lord Vincent Callier, General and staunch ally of Celine and all of Callier's family. I leave this in your hands. I love the... remember what he did. And just so you remember. 2 problems, 1 solution. There was a traitor to our cause, a man similar in build and appearance to Rainier. We bind and gag him and have him take Rainier's place. He is condemned instead, and the world believes Rainier has paid the price. Damn. So we already have a traitor in our cells at the moment. I can request a special dispensation from the Orlesian throne, allowing Tom Rainier to be transferred to Inquisition custody. This may anger some, but after Hallam Sharal they owe us a favor. We can storm the prison with a small force and take Rainier into our custody. Valrio's prison guards will oppose us. We should be prepared for casualties. I thought Cullen's like, yeah, we should like attack them. Okay, so we have 2 choices here because we're not going with Cullen's. So 2 choices is we can let it be known that Blackwall has come with us. Sorry, Tom has come with us. People are going to be mad about it, but they do owe us a favor. Liliana's way of doing things. Have a traitor to our cause serve his sentence. So the world believes Rainier has paid the price, and we get him out of there. I wish to know what is happening to this traitor already. Is the traitor already going to be, like, killed, or is he just in prison right now? Swap places. Our chosen replacement was sentenced in Tom Rainier's stead. So far, the world knows Rainier met his death at dawn. My agents will maintain the deception, silencing all rumors. The real Rainier is in our custody. So now no one is aware that he is even alive. And our previous traitor that we've apparently got that's similar in build has taken the fall. Finding Samson's weakness. This is just for Josephine. The red lyrium is very strange. How Samson's armor hasn't killed him, I don't know. I can find out, but it'll be time and money. Tools, tests, and some books I remember from a circle or two. If they aren't stolen or burned, in which case I'll need to write them. And ink isn't cheap. With the right investment, nothing is beyond our reach.
Let us begin.
Off you go. Stop the rumors! From far off Montsemart, a songstress comes with lies and thoughtless jibes, insults our name. I hated her in school, she pulled my hair. We must not let her make these vulgar claims. A minstrel with no tongue can tell no lies. No, this is ridiculous. Our allies' words will turn the tide for us. So, from far off Montsemart, a songstress comes, with lies and thoughtless jibes, insults our name. I hated her in school, she pulled my hair. We must not let her make these vulgar claims. Meriden. I love the, no, this is ridiculous, but it takes 33 minutes. Ooh. Apologies for the yawns. I promise I am mentally engaged. It's just one of those days. It's either turn the tide for us, cut out the tongue, or this is ridiculous. I always like to pursue them. In, only occasionally, I think Cullen being like, "Nah, don't bother," is appropriate. But I don't know. I kind of like seeing how things will go, so I might wait for Josephine to be available for that one. Over this side, a golden opportunity is busy. A favor returned is busy. Evading the crows. My friends, I did enjoy our little venture, and I hate to be a bother, but I believe you owe me a favor. After all, Lord Enzo is quite dead. As you may recall, the crows and I are not on the best of terms. They were not pleased I stole their target out from under them. It means they don't get paid. They could have taken credit for my work, but I had already written to their employer. I earned the prize, after all. The crows would like to speak to me, as you can imagine. They've sent more of their number to Hercynia. It's time I left for the free marches. Mages can plant false leads for the crows. Zevran was helpful. We could send soldiers to sweep Hercynia for any remaining Venatori. If Zevran left with our men, it may go unnoticed. Hercynia's ambassador is planning a trip to Denerim. I could arrange for Zevran to be in her party. Damn. We're helping and assisting Zevran and potentially making some enemies of the crows here. I just feel like the crows may take notice. I mean, if we're around here doing stuff, they may begin to put two and two together with Zevran, but if we're hunting Venatori, they might let it go. Planting false leads, they could discover where those false leads came from. So all in all, it's still a pretty challenging decision. But we're going to go with Liliana. False leads. Deal with Lord Marin. Dearest Josephine, do you recall the last letter I sent about the new volunteers who have reported to Suladen Keep to help with our efforts? Lady Duquette, daughter of Lord Basil Maron, was one of them. We were unaware of her real identity because she came to us disguised as a villager. Unfortunately, Lord Basil has just now discovered the whereabouts of his missing daughter and has accused the Inquisition of kidnapping her. Lord Basil's colourful slander of the Inquisition has cast a shadow on our relations with wealthy Southern Orlesian society. Complicating matters, Lady Duquette refuses to return to her father and the gilded cage of a gentlewoman. I can't very well tie her up and deliver her to the Lord in a barrel, can I? Sincerely, Edward. Why can't we? We don't have to literally put her in a barrel, but let Lady Duquette know in no uncertain terms that she is no longer welcome in the Inquisition. Lady Duquette should follow her heart. Lord Basil is a minor noble, and his favour is not worth courting. I can trick him into social ruin. Once he is torn down, he may rant, but no one will listen. Alright, I'll save that for Josephine. Assisting Michel. Celine's disgraced champion has joined the Inquisition. He is an honourable man, but a casualty of Orlay's brutal politics and prejudices. Find him a place in the organisation where he will feel at home. Michel can do little for me in Valrio's halls of power, but he knows about the Alluvians controlled by the Elves of Orlais. Excuse me? He knows about the Alluvians controlled by the Elves of Orlais. I'll have him working with Solus and our scholars to discover all we can of those mirrors. Hello, very, very big words here. Michel was once a renowned chevalier. He even bested Grand Duke Gaspard in single combat. I could use an officer with that kind of experience, and Michel has been exiled from the Imperial Court, which means he's well aware of the pitfalls of the game. We have noble allies who could benefit from an advisor with such expertise, and I could always use more liaisons to Southern Orlais. This appeals to me very hard, so I think we're going to have Leliana do that one, which means, Cullen, what would you like to do? When we're like, do we have anything for Cullen? This is what happens when you have multiple things available that you just feel that the same person is more suitable for. Alright, looks like Cullen is not going on an adventure right now. Cullen is being left alone. We have Blackwall, Tom Rainier, in our custody. Judge the prisoner. Oh, Lord. I don't know about this. Because we're judging him, but I got his amulet of power. I'm assuming that means that there is a potential for him to come back into the party without choice, or not. We'll see. Lady Shayna, the warrior who was both general and lover to legendary King Calenhad, offered this blade to Queen Mairen to heal the rift between the Queen and her husband. When Arl Myrden killed Shayna, the blade passed to Mairen's son and has remained in Theron hands. Until now, with a unique sword. I am not ready for what is going to take place here. I am saving the game, just in case. Because this is not just any judgment. This is a judgment of a companion, which I never expected to take place.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. I know you put another man in my place. Haven't enough died for me.
Ooh. Ouchie. That's a tough one, actually. Dude, imagine if we were pursuing Blackwall romance as well. This would be rough as hell. Like, that would be the biggest slap in the face. Like, we flirted with him for fun a little while ago, but like, if I actually chose to pursue Blackwall romance, this would be a heartbreaking situation right now. I'd be like, my fucking husbando lied to me. I actually wonder if romancing him might get him to maybe open up or be a little bit honest about some things, or maybe it was really just that much of a closely guarded secret. I think something I'm really interested in with that in mind, by the way, is I want to see all of the different romances with the characters. So we might check that out at some point. After everything's said and done, of course. We actually did have a choice.
I really think you've lost the right to judge anyone.
There's enough evil in the world because of me. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
Oh, I hate that. Keep him in servitude. I own you. Free him to make amends for his crimes if he atones. And give Rainier to the Wardens once this is over. Damn. These are some interesting choices. So basically, all three options keep Tom Rainier in our party, but under different circumstances, different conditions. One is that you are free to make amends for your past. You are my slave, and you are with me, and once this is done, you're going to the Wardens for the joining properly, buddy. You're gonna go and drink the Darkspawn blood. That's a really interesting decision, because obviously we're not going with this one, but between these two, I think they both have a bit of valid merit to both of them. They both have merit to both of them. Just so you know, that's what I said. Because he was already recruited by Blackwall, and he was on his way to do the joining, right? Like, that was gonna be a thing that would happen. He'd be there. And then maybe he would have ended up atoning for his crimes as Tom Rainier eventually in a different way. I feel, even with that in mind, of being like, off you go to do what you were meant to do, I feel like this is the option. I feel like this is the option. But I feel like this one also does have some merit to it. He could go to the Wardens after everything is said and done anyway. But I think we're going for this one.
You have your freedom.
It cannot be as simple as that.
It isn't. You're free to atone as the man you are, not the traitor you thought you were or the warden you pretended to be.
The man I am. I barely know him. But I have a lot to make up for. If my future is mine, then I pledge it to the Inquisition. My sword is yours. If I'd said anything less, would an arrow from the rookery have snuffed me like a candle?
Take your post, Tom Rainier.
He has freedom and chooses to be at my side. That was not an easy cutscene. That was not pleasant at all. That was rough, actually. Damn. Okay. The consequences of Blackwall's lie operation available. The consequences of Blackwall's lie. Okay. Well, Cullen is available. Let's see if it's a Cullen operation or whether I need to save it for someone else. And then we're going to go and have a chat to the man. We are going to have a conversation. We're going right to that barn, because I feel like he'll have quite a few things to say now. A letter, written in fine hand and lightly scented, signed by Josephine. The issue of Tom Rainier has been settled, but his deception has had far-reaching consequences. Had we not...
to enjoy yourself at the Winter Palace, Liliana? Or was that part of the game?
Perhaps it was both.
That's such a the game response. The issue of Tom Rainier has been settled, but his deception has had far-reaching consequences. Had we not used the Grey Warden treaties, we might not have found ourselves in so awkward a position. As it is, I receive daily messages from all quarters demanding we make reparations. We must do something. This is true, actually, because him being exposed in this way, he used Grey Warden treaties. We got people on our side based on treaties that we were not supposed to be in possession of. This man be fucking up with his lies. I didn't even think about that. Scribbled beneath, signed by Cullen. I'm sorry, did we embarrass a duchess at a soiree by stepping on her gown, or was the sky torn open and Haven beset by an ancient darkspawn magister? We needed the gold, we needed the men, you would have persuaded someone to part with them with or without the treaties. We're not making reparations for doing what we had to do, what no one else could have done. Don't forget, we are now allied with the Wardens. If we had no authority to conscript before, we do now. True? Do we want the Inquisition to survive beyond Corypheus's defeat? We won't always be at war. Why alienate allies when it would take so little to appease them? Let us return what was taken under false pretense and put these treaties aside. And we step forward, not back. No apologies. What happened with the Wardens gives us more authority than ever to use the treaties. Oh, that is an interesting perspective on both sides. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Cullen to push forward, not back, because of the Warden allyship. You know, like, it was a lie, but it's because it's the goal, right? It was not, it's greater good thing.
To work?
We'll find out. Tough decisions made at the table and at the throne tonight. God damn. This game put me in all kinds of positions. Shall we go speak with Tom Rainier? Not Blackwall. That's going to be really hard to get used to. We're going to keep calling him Blackwall. Also, before we chat to him, the first things first, let's have a look at what his card looks like. What does he look like? Wow, okay, interesting. Alright. It just goes to that. Okay. He is... Wait, what's that? What am I examining? He's the Grey Warden that he wanted to be, but just no longer Blackwall. Proper Andraste ×2, cataloging Skyhold. Sculpted Andraste ×2 in Orlace or stone. Proper Andraste, this one. Solid for a human sculpture, made to last. Polish and leave for Mother Giselle to reconsecrate or whatever. I leave their work to them. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Time to chat to the man. How you doing in here, man?
Inquisitor?
How shall I refer to you? Rainier or Blackwall?
I've gotten used to Blackwall. Perhaps we could treat it as less of a name and more of a title. Almost like Inquisitor. Reminds me of what I ought to be.
Okay.
Everyone needs something to aspire to.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Is there anything you actually know about the Wardens? Or did you make it all up?
I made very little up. I also feared you knew enough to contradict me. Warden Blackwall told me a bit before my initiation, but it is a secretive order. Not even the most senior wardens know all there is to know.
See, he's got a point, right? Some closely guarded secrets, but also we knew enough to contradict him, especially being in Ferelden during the Blight, and also the fact that every time the culling was brought up, the calling was brought up, he's just like, I'm fine.
Now we know why you were never worried about Corypheus's calling.
Yes. I have none of the Warden's abilities and none of the drawbacks. Still, I would have fought through the darkest pits of the deep roads like any true Warden. There's more to it than being able to sense darkspawn. Warden Blackwall would have agreed.
Well, that's why you're going to be brought in.
The Wardens at Adamant listened to you. They saw you as one of their own.
Perhaps it takes an outsider to show how much of yourself you've lost. I never understood the reality of being a Warden. I only saw the ideal. I suppose I reminded them of something they'd forgotten.
Yeah. I would love to ask him if he would wish to become an actual Grey Warden proper, you know?
You don't know what Warden Blackwall would have believed.
That's not what I thought I was saying.
But I know he was a good man.
That's not what I thought that I was saying. Ah, God. This is the problem with some of these sentences. It's worded in a way where you think it's a question, but then my fucking Inquisitor makes a statement, and you're like, hello?
Why did Blackwall want to recruit you?
He never told me. I don't know what he saw that day besides some wreck starting a bar fight. That night, I taught some village militia a painful lesson about harassing the tavern girl. Didn't know I had an audience.
I can see why the Warden was impressed.
You're assuming my intentions were noble. Told the girl to keep the wine coming. She couldn't, not with those louts bothering her. Something had to be done.
We'll continue this another time.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
I'm a little disappointed with that. I expected to approach him for a proper cutscene addressing such a significant event, but instead it's just a couple lines of dialogue going, you don't have any abilities at all, and you didn't even do this, and you didn't know what he wanted, you know? Instead of actually having a conversation about it. I feel a little let down because I think that they could have done much, much more with that. Much, much more in terms of talking about his thoughts and feelings, especially after Judgment, especially coming back from an almost execution. You know, there was definitely more for us to engage with, I think, after everything was said and done. But instead, it's just a couple of little, wow, blah, 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 you know? I want to know his thoughts about, would he become a Grey Warden, like, properly? I want to know how Alistair was able to describe him as identify him as a Grey Warden. You know, I want to know things, but unfortunately nothing there right now. But he is back in our party, and we can produce the Amulet of Power that we picked up for him. There you go. There it is. And then, I mean, he's with us now, isn't he? So he's with us now. And with that one, we will bring this episode of Dragon Age Origins to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today for more expansion onto the companion quests. We will have Samson's weakness sorted out, and we will continue before the dawn, and we will also get the heart of a snowy wyvern as well for Vivian. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, because it's certainly been a big one. Some great revelations and some vindication on our suspicions for a certain Blackwall. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.